Okay, picture this for a second. How exactly does a single facility manage the daily grind of global cargo, high-end luxury travel, and then, seemingly out of nowhere, the sudden massive arrival of millions of religious pilgrims all at the exact same time? It's like a giant high-stakes puzzle. Well, welcome to this explainer on King Abdulaziz International Airport, a true marvel of modern infrastructure that somehow pulls all of that off. Here's our flight path for today's explainer. We'll be looking at 1. The busiest gateway. 2. A massive aviation anchor. 3. The global pilgrim network. 4. Architectural and aquatic marvels. And 5. Vision 2030 modernization. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The busiest gateway. Unprecedented scale.
Now, what's really fascinating about this facility, which is often just called by its IATA code, JED, is that it isn't just the busiest airport in Saudi Arabia. It's literally the principal economic gateway to the entire western part of the kingdom. Just consider the sheer volume for a moment. 53 million. That's the staggering number of passengers moving through these gates every single year. To put that into perspective, that is the equivalent of moving the entire population of South Korea or Colombia through a single transit point annually. It really sets the stage for the enormous gravity and massive volume of human movement happening right here. And to handle that kind of crowd, well, you're going to need some serious space. 105 square kilometers to be exact. This colossal footprint makes it one of the absolute largest airport properties in the entire Middle East. Honestly, it's practically a small city unto itself, sprawling across the landscape. Underpinning that massive footprint are Jedd's 3 parallel runways, located about 19 kilometers north of Jeddah. And the absolutely crucial point here is that these are not your standard airstrips. Stretching up to 4,000 meters in length, they're heavily reinforced with specialized asphalt and concrete. Why? Because they are specifically engineered to take a beating from continuous, punishing rows of heavy, wide-body jets. We're talking the Boeing 777 and the massive Airbus A380. All right, Section 2, a massive aviation anchor, the Daily Beast. Transitioning into daily operations, Jed is a true operational anchor for Middle Eastern aviation. Every single day, it functions as this highly complex, multi-layered ecosystem. First off, you've got the national flag carrier, Saudia, using Jed as its primary global hub for a huge network of domestic and long-haul international flights. Then, it anchors the budget travel sector too, serving as the headquarters for Flyadeal and a secondary mega hub for Flynas. But wait, it doesn't stop at passengers. It's also a massive cargo hub for Saudia Cargo, using highly automated facilities to push pharmaceutical and commercial goods all around the globe. So you might be wondering, how do they physically manage all of this without everything just grinding to a halt? Well, Jed brilliantly divides its monumental tasks across 3 distinct terminals. Terminal 1 handles the vast majority of standard international and domestic operations. The North Terminal picks up the slack for the remaining international carriers. And then we have the famous Hajj Terminal. This is a dedicated, specialized space that activates specifically for religious charter flights during unprecedented seasonal surges. Which brings us perfectly to Section 3, the Global Pilgrim Network, the seasonal surge. This is where the narrative shifts to the airport's most unique challenge. Jed is the primary entry point for millions of people traveling from all over the world to the Islamic holy cities of Mecca and Medina. During the annual Hajj season, the airport's dynamics completely transform. We're talking massive seasonal wide-body flights pouring in from major global carriers like Emirates, Qatar Airways, Turkish Airlines, Malaysia Airlines, and Garuda Indonesia. The level of international cooperation and sheer logistical mastery required here is, quite frankly, something you rarely see anywhere else in the world. So, here's a massive engineering puzzle for you. How exactly do you naturally cool 80,000 pilgrims waiting in the scorching desert sun at any given time? Sounds impossible, right? Well, the answer is the world-famous Hajj Terminal. Designed by the legendary architectural firm Skidmore, Owings & Merrill, or SOM, it features this brilliant open-air design. Instead of relying on power-hungry air conditioning to cool this massive space, the structure physically reflects the harsh desert heat while naturally ventilating the area. It is so structurally acclaimed, in fact, that it even doubles as a venue for major global events like the Islamic Arts Biennia. And visually, it's an absolute stunner. The terminal's roof is made up of 210 semi-conical Teflon-coated fiberglass tents. It creates this incredibly striking contrast to your typical rigid airport design, forming a canopy that feels both ultra-modern and yet deeply connected to traditional desert living. Let's pivot slightly to Section 4, architectural and aquatic marvels.
Moving away from the stark, functional beauty of the Hajj terminal, you'll find some unexpected, hyper-luxurious features hiding elsewhere on the property. Talk about a wow factor. Right smack in the heart of the ultra-modern Terminal 1 is a massive cylindrical aquarium. We're talking 14 meters tall, 10 meters wide, holding over 1 million liters of water. It's packed with coral reefs and thousands of local fish, perfectly replicating the marine ecosystem of the nearby Red Sea. It is such a calming, incredible visual attraction right in the middle of a chaotic travel hub.
Just adjacent to the terminal complex is another marvel, the Airport Mosque. It's a stunning, geometrically striking landmark of modern Islamic architecture. Not only is it visually breathtaking, but it's highly functional too, beautifully accommodating over 3,000 worshippers at any given time.
And finally, Section 5, Vision 2030 Modernization, the modern marvel.
So how do all these intense, massive needs integrate into the future? Through Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 and this hyper-modern Terminal 1 expansion. And when I say massive, I mean it, spanning 810,000 square meters. To keep everything moving fast, it utilizes 220 check-in counters and 80 self-service kiosks, alongside a fully automated driverless people mover train system. And the passenger experience? Top tier. It boasts over 28,000 square meters of high-end retail, duty-free shopping, and world-class luxury spaces, including Saudi's renowned Al Fursan Lounge.
Let's put ourselves in the shoes of a traveler to see what all this infrastructure actually means for a seamless journey. Imagine this. You step off your flight into the ultra-modern Terminal 1. Without ever leaving the complex, you board the fully integrated Haramain high-speed bullet train. Traveling at a blistering 300 kilometers per hour, you are whisked directly to the Holy Mosque in Mecca in under 40 minutes. Or, you could head straight north to Medina. It takes raw technical infrastructure and turns it into an awe-inspiring, completely frictionless experience. And hey, if you're just heading into the city for everyday business, that's incredibly smooth too. Connected to downtown Jeddah via the multi-lane Medina Road and Prince Maji Road, it takes just 20 to 30 minutes by car. Utilizing a super reliable network of licensed taxis, specialized buses, and designated zones for ride-hailing apps like Uber and Careem, the daily flow of the airport meshes perfectly with the city. Which leaves us with one final, kind of mind-bending question for today. If King Abdulaziz International Airport can already seamlessly balance automated global cargo, high-end luxury corporate travel, and literally the world's largest seasonal religious migration today, what impossible logistics will the mega airports of tomorrow master? Thank you so much for exploring this remarkable piece of global infrastructure with me. Stay curious, keep exploring, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.